Hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the
Let me get
Conways.
the.
And let me get the chat up so we can see the comments.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. Glad to have you all here with us this week for Tuesday Talks. We have a really good topic today. Hi, Shelley. Glad to have you here. And Radina. We
Hello.
love seeing all of our regulars. And Liddell on Instagram. Hi. So glad to see you all. So we'll give everyone a chance to join and pop on, and we'll try to say hello to everyone. I'm gonna turn these out the lights down just a little bit. It's blinding me, but we're glad. Love's Carb Journey is here with us on Facebook as well. We're glad to have you all here
Hello.
too. We have a really good topic, and Naomi from Facebook as well. We're looking forward to this. It touches base a little bit on some of our past topics, and our love for talking about mental health. So that'll come up a bit as well, and we'll also kind of touch base a little bit on our very first topic that we had way, way, way back when we first started this
Yeah.
over a year ago, which is crazy to
Sorry.
believe we've been doing this for over a year. So if you want to introduce our topic, and then maybe we can get started.
Yes, tonight we're talking about the weight of memories. Memories, whether good or bad. Um, Sorry, I was reading a comment on Instagram. Memories, whether good or bad, can shape our progress when it comes to any sort of health journey, mental health, weight, any of it. So memories are definitely like something that you need to keep track of, like the good and the bad.
Mhm. Absolutely. So
Thank you, Liddell.
yes, Liddell on Instagram mentioned she saw the transformation photos of us, and she's so proud of us. If I get a moment, I might try to see if I can pop that up here, just so everyone else can see it. But the past, and in particular the negative, can make things extra difficult for us. Sometimes it's hard to escape the past. Um, Sometimes we feel like we've talked about this before multiple times. Man, how did I let myself get to this point? And that's not something that we can focus on. Focusing on the past in a negative way is
Mhm.
probably going to be more destructive than it's going to be helpful. So it's important to make sure that we don't let that the past define us. But one of the things that our memories can affect us is our habits. We've built a lot of habits throughout our entire
Mhm.
life, from infancy, childhood, to our young adult years to now.
Yeah.
No matter what part of your journey is, and some of the habits are good, and some are
Mhm.
not so good.
Yeah, and sometimes you do things without even realizing that like your past has caused it to happen.
Hmm.
For instance, me binge eating anything unhealthy or that I feel is unhealthy. Um, Sorry, something popped up on the computer. Me binge eating anything that I feel is unhealthy, to this day will still hide. I hide from Chris. I hide. And when I was younger, y'all, I would hide in the bathroom and binge eat because I was ashamed, and I carry that this day. And I don't even realize when I'm doing it that it's because of my past and the shame I would feel when I would eat something,
Hmm.
whether it was intentional or not. So I still to this day, and Chris is not going to sit here and shame
Hmm.
me. And I wasn't even shamed by other people in the past. It just is how I felt like it should be.
Hmm.
And
You don't have to be ashamed
yes.
about the past or even the present. If you happen to have a binging episode or anything else to that nature, you don't have to be
Mhm.
ashamed.
Yes, but those moments of hiding
Hmm.
to eat and binge, I still do now without even realizing it sometimes. And I will still like I'll come clean to Chris and be like, listen, I just ate a whole container of frosting downstairs hiding from you. And there'll be times that I'll be in the kitchen and be like, please don't come in here and please don't come in here. Because I know I'm doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. But that is all because of things that happened in my past and ways that I coped in the past with
Hmm.
hiding, stress eating, but doing it in secret.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of those things for me when I was younger, it was all about the unhealthy snacks and having it just all the time, and just having snacks, and having too many snacks as well. Hi, Crystal. Yes, we've all been there, and
Mhm.
the most important thing is to have a partner, a friend, whoever you need to get that support,
Mhm.
but don't beat yourself up. As Courtney has mentioned, we got to give yourself grace. You've not gained all this weight in one day. We're not going to ruin it by having
Mhm.
a couple bad days or a binge session or being
Yeah.
off track for a week or so.
Yes. But the whole point is some of our habits that we've built because of the past, we don't even realize it's because of the past.
Hmm.
Like you just do things and it's just what it is literally that's what a habit is. It's something you do without even thinking.
Hmm.
But a lot of it is shaped from the past and shaped from things that happened in the past, whether it be good or bad.
Hmm.
And so a lot of our unhealthy habits are shaped from the past
Hmm.
or memories we have or coping mechanisms we learned in the past.
And then also sometimes the habits we can have is the eat feeling like you need to eat at a certain time of
Mhm.
day. That's something we've noticed in our daughter sometimes when if we get up really late on the weekend, let's say we get up at like 9 or 10 and we don't have our first meal until like 11 or 12, and that will be our breakfast of sorts, and then when we go to have dinner, our daughter was like, "We didn't have lunch." I was like, "Well, we really didn't need lunch. We're not hungry for lunch. If you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. We don't have to
Mhm.
have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's not set. If you're hungry, we're hungry, and
Mhm.
if you're not, we're not." And at that point, we ate at 11 o'clock, nice and full. We had a snack, 2 or 3, and then we had dinner.
Yeah.
There was not any need
Yeah.
to have that third meal. We ate the calories that we felt like we needed, and we ate what we wanted to a certain extent without having to go on there. But also the coming home from school every day needing a snack. I'm like, if you're hungry, yes, absolutely have a snack, but don't feel like you have to have a snack when you come
Mhm.
home from school. And those time-based things are really, really, come home from work. Oh, it's time for a snack. If you're hungry, yes, you
Mhm.
have a snack if it works within your day, but you don't have to have
Yes.
that
And a
snack.
lot of times, like, that's kind of ingrained in us when we go to school. Like, a certain time you're going to eat breakfast, a certain time you're going to eat lunch. And that kind of comes with us as we're older. And we've just learned, throughout life, lunch needs to be at this time. I need a snack at this time. I have to eat breakfast at this time, dinner's at this time. And it just kind of carries with us. And it's hard to get out of that. But if you're not hungry, you don't have to eat.
Mhm, absolutely. Hey, Devin, on YouTube. Glad to have you back here with us again this week too. And then also not just the time eating, but also eating when we're bored. We both have a tendency when we are bored. We don't like if I'm less busy at work. I might have a tendency to eat more, but if I'm really really busy, hours will fly by, and I'll completely have forgotten my breakfast and my snack and my lunch.
Mhm.
So when you need something to do, you don't have to grab that food. I have a tendency, I like to fidget, so I have things at my desk that I can play with. I've got those fidget spinners. Sometimes also it's just a feeling you got to do something with your mouth. Chew some gum, or if you are a little peckish, you feel like you overeat, have some healthy snacks, some grapes, strawberries, vegetables. Corey mentioned she grazes on grapes sometimes at work. Just to make sure that she has something to do, and then she has she has something to chew on,
Mhm.
and that helps.
Yep. And another thing with memories, memories are not always bad things. Sometimes you have, your good memories, but I've noticed sometimes with my good memories, I associate them with food. We
Hmm.
live in a big, like, food-based world. Like, for instance, foods that remind me of my grandmother, they make me happy. So I want more of them. And
Hmm.
that's great, to have these memories that remind you of this person or this item that reminds you of this person that makes you happy. But like the problem is when I have those foods, I eat way too much of them because they make me so happy because I think about my grandmother. I think about her making like she made me
Hmm.
chicken pot pie, not chicken pot pie, chicken chip casserole, which I'm gonna make soon. I'm gonna try to find a way to healthify it. But chicken chip casserole was one of my favorite things that she made. I don't make it very often because I don't know when to stop when I have it now, because she's not here with me anymore. And so I kind of use it almost as a I use the food that she made
Hmm.
almost as a coping mechanism because it makes me think of her. So it doesn't always have to be something negative,
Oh yeah.
but sometimes good memories just make you want food or,
Want to overindulge.
yes.
So food has a way of being connected to memories, good memories, most important, and it's important to not overlook that. For me, for my grandmother, uh, for the holiday, she's really into baking cookies and sweets, and she was famous for her chocolate chip cookies. And I have a tendency, even though I don't have as much of a sweet tooth as Courtney, I will have more of those. because they bring good memories, and it is okay to enjoy
Mhm.
food because of the memories, but you want to make sure that you do it in a way that you don't overdo it. But
Mhm.
also, if you have the food too much, that kind of lowers I think the significance
Yeah.
of those connections too. So make sure you to keep it special. Make sure you don't overdo it.
Mhm. And another thing with memories is it doesn't just affect your health as far as like weight. Sometimes it can also affect your mental health and even your confidence. Like I have things that I will not do because of past memories. For instance, I got on a roller coaster once. I never ever even attempted to get on a roller coaster until I was in high school. And the reason was because I was scared I would be too big. I finally got on the roller coaster. I was not too big, but me and my friend I was sitting next to had to get up and move. They had bigger seats specifically for larger people. And I still barely fit. I did fit, but barely fit into the larger seat. And it was so embarrassing having to get up out of that seat to go to a larger seat and still having to have them like push it to close. I have not attempted to get on a roller coaster since because of that moment. And that's a whole self-confidence thing. Like your self-confidence and sometimes your self-worth can feel less than because of memories in the past.
Mhm. Absolutely. So the past, it feels like it can be there to haunt us, but we don't have to let it. We don't have to. The past is definitely it helps mold us into who we are. All of our past experience, the good and the bad, but we are who we are because of our past experiences. But the past doesn't define us. What defines us is what we're currently doing now and what we're aiming for in the future. So don't let the past overrun your positive outlook on the future. Just because I made bad choices with food and I built bad habits doesn't mean I have to continue making those bad choices, or that I can't rebuild my habits. And also, most importantly for me is it means that I can also help my daughter create
Mhm.
these more healthier habits and healthier relationships with food, so she doesn't have the same struggles that we did growing up because we had those bad habits.
Yep. Because sometimes those memories when it comes to food, they are a struggle. And I don't want our daughter to have those. I don't want our daughter to like cringe every time she sees, a cheesecake because it brings up bad memories of binging or, like I don't want that. And I want her to have healthier habits. But also, like he said, the past is there and it's there for us to learn from it.
Hmm.
Um, these memories, whether good or bad, they shape who we are today. And it's up to us to either change how we're doing things or not. And it really it's a decision every single day.
Oh yeah.
Some days I change how I've been doing things, and some days I go right back to high school Courtney binging in the bathroom. Like you never really know. And some days it's harder than others. But it is a decision you have to make every single day to not let the past define you and
Hmm.
not go back to those ways from the past.
Sometimes it's a decision that you have to make multiple times in a day.
Mhm.
Because I've had a little bit of struggle today. Thankfully, I have been on track, but it is even just like a relationship. You have to make that conscious decision every day to stay in that relationship. Same is with your health and the relationship with food. You have to constantly make that decision. I'm going to make good choices. I have a goal. I have a reason why I'm trying to get healthier, and I need to stay focused on that and keep pushing forward.
Mhm.
The whole eating when we're anxious and we're depressed is really prevalent, and that's something we both struggle with on occasion. Sometimes with Courtney, it's not eating when
Yeah.
she's stressed. Sometimes when she's depressed, eat more. Both of those
Mhm.
can be the case. Um, but we don't. One of the biggest things is we have a really big focus on making sure that we focus on the mental health. Our physical health is very, 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 very important. And maybe a tiny bit more important, but our mental health is tied so
Mhm.
intertwinedly and tightly with the physical health that you cannot let your mental health go and not focus on it. That's got to be a huge priority in your life.
Yes, and with the memories and the past, like, you have to really dig deep some time and focus on your mental health because
Hmm.
it can be hard. Like, there are things in the past that just, like especially that comes to my weight or my size, like, honestly destroyed me, and sometimes like, I was just thinking about something the other day, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I cannot believe I got through that." but I did.
Mhm.
And just be proud of yourself if it is a bad memory, if it's something bad that happened in the past, if it's something you had to overcome, be proud of that.
Mhm.
Instead of looking back at that and thinking, oh my goodness, this was awful, be proud of yourself for overcoming, whether it was easy, hard, sorry, um, just be proud. Because you are here and you're making that decision every day
Mhm.
to, change it and do things differently.
Mhm. And then one of the things you can do to kind of help um, get past that is by looking at your progress. And this is where I'm going to try to see if I can share our Transformation Tuesday post that Courtney shared on our Instagram today. Let me see if I can add the image, and it's in my downloads folder. This is definitely something that can help give you encouragement, and hopefully this. Um, can give you encouragement as well. I'm not sure why it's not working. Sorry, we don't normally add things on the fly. There we go. So here is one of our current Transformation Tuesday posts. The post on the left, clearly, we were a little of a high. We were at the highest, I don't think, but we were on the
Yeah.
higher spectrum.
A funny thing about that picture, that's one of the pictures that I saw that was like, I gotta do something. I actually told Chris, don't you dare post this picture unless you crop out everything from my head, like below my head. Like I was mortified when I saw that picture.
Hmm.
I don't take pictures, or in the past, I didn't take pictures
Especially
like
full
full
body
body
pictures.
very often. And it was very eye opening. And that's actually the picture that made me be like, I have got to do something
Hmm.
to today where I'm down 105 pounds.
Yes. So the picture on the right was just taken a week and a half ago at her cousin's wedding.
Yes.
It's a very recent photo.
But the thing about this is that memory,
Hmm.
that picture on the left, I still look at that and remember how I felt that day.
Hmm.
Remember how I felt when I saw it. And I was mortified, you guys. And sometimes you need to see things like that. And sometimes you need to remind yourself of the past
Hmm.
and remind yourself how you felt in that moment so you do not feel that way again. I will never go back to that person.
Hmm.
I am so thankful for that person because she made me who I am today,
Hmm.
but I will never go back to that person.
Yes.
And sometimes you need to remind yourself how you felt when you were at rock bottom, and when you had that moment where you're like, I've got to do something.
Mhm. I think my one of my turning moments was when you were pregnant with Kathleen, and we had some friends do a baby shower for us, and there was a picture of me from the side that was similar to Courtney's, and I had a big fat roll on the back of my head, along with a lot of extra goodness in my back and side, and that was just kind of an aha moment. I was like, looking back at those pictures can be kind of frustrating, but they can
Mhm.
be good motivation to give you to help you move forward because the past is the past.
Mhm.
But and also looking at those transformation photos gives you strength to keep moving forward.
Yes, and sometimes it could be the opposite. Sometimes you look at your old pictures and you're like, "Man, I wish I could get back to there." If you have gained weight, because gaining weight is totally normal,
Hmm.
totally normal. But sometimes you might be the opposite. You might look at your past pictures and be like, "Man, I wish I could get back there." Like I said, you have
Hmm.
the chance, you have the option to get back there. Just remember,
Hmm.
it's not easy, and you did not get where you are now overnight, and you're not going to get back to where you were overnight.
Hmm.
It's hard, but use those pictures to motivate you, to get you going. Make sure you take the pictures because the memories, all of those things are going to push you to
Hmm.
get where you want to go.
Yeah, because looking back at pictures for me when I was in college, I always thought I was fat in college. I was overweight in college, but even now I'm not quite there yet. I'm like, man, I really wish I could get back to that point because, and also I'd like to go back in time and slap myself for thinking I was fat, because at that point I was overweight, but not to my
Mhm.
highest. So that is something that you can use to give yourself some encouragement. But thank you so much, Shelly and Radina and Linda and
Yes.
Vicky and Crystal, all of you all who and Vicky who give us support. Um, we share those photos not just, I mean, kind of want to toot our own horn a little bit, which is important. You need to toot your horn, but it's also to give
Mhm.
you encouragement too,
Yes.
and to let you know to look at those photos, look at those, do those side by side. If you have never done a Transformation Tuesday post, whether you are big into social media or not, do it. Do
Mhm.
those side by side
They're
comparisons.
shocking. I mean, sometimes like I don't like I actually had a moment today. I had a parent stop by my classroom. She hadn't seen me in a long time and she passed by my classroom and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I had to do a double take." And it took me, I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "You've lost a lot of weight." You guys, she had just bragged on me. And today I had just posted that transformation picture. I went over to the mirror and was like, "I don't see it. I don't see it." Like sometimes it takes reminding
Mhm.
multiple times a day to remind yourself of where you come from because our brain will play tricks on us. Our
Mhm.
brain will
Yeah.
use the past to play tricks on us.
Mhm. 'Cause I still have sometimes a hard time seeing it in myself, especially if I'm in the bathroom and I'm shirtless and all I see is my gut, which is probably my biggest area on me. It's hard to see, but sometimes you have to take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and then look at the comparisons because I see myself every day. So it's hard to see those little changes throughout,
Mhm.
the weeks.
Yeah.
But when you look at the changes in the months and the years, and that really will help put it into
Mhm.
perspective. And I've mentioned this before. You need a good boost, like Courtney got today. Go visit a friend or a family member you haven't seen in a while, and they'll be like, "Wow."
Mhm. And also, I lost my train of thought. Oh no, I got it back. Um, if we can do it, you can do it. Like we're not like these superhumans that have, motivation like no other. Motivation is hardly ever there.
Hmm.
Consistency. And so I know I keep talking about the past and memories, but use those memories to help you be consistent, to help you be motivated, whether it be I want to get back where I was or I don't want to go back where I was.
Yeah.
Either way you're looking at it, use those memories in the past to to give you the consistency and to remind yourself. If you have to put a picture, if you are one of those that want to get back to what you look like, if you need to put a picture of that on your, your mirror, do it. If you
Hmm.
need to get a transformation picture and print it out and put it on the mirror, do it. Have those reminders there at all times of how amazing you're doing, whether you've lost 5 pounds or 200.
Hmm.
You're still doing amazing. And I mean, it's hard to lose weight. It's hard.
Absolutely. But if we can do it, you can as well. It takes definitely consistency and good motivation. But also, if you're trying everything and you're still struggling, we definitely recommend seeing a nutritionist or seeing a
Mhm.
doctor just in case, because they're always.
Try switching up your plans if
Yep.
you need to.
Yep, there's no problem with going to see if there is something else going on. Maybe you
Hmm.
have some insulin resistance or some thyroid issues. Some people have a tendency to think, if I can't do this on my own, then I'm not doing it right. Sometimes you do need a little bit of
Hmm.
assistance, and that will be a topic that we'll be touching on kind of in the future, about sometimes there is a need to get some medical assistance to help you.
Hmm. Yes, whether it be because of insulin resistance, there are so many different things. I have PCOS and I did not start losing weight until I found out I had insulin and thyroid issues. And that's really when it started. Like when I got medication for that, that's when it started to
Mhm.
like really start kicking up.
Yep, absolutely. So don't be afraid to get that extra assistance if you
Hmm.
do absolutely need it.
Yeah.
Um, but there's also no problem with trying to do it the old-fashioned way of with eating healthy and getting exercise
Hmm.
in.
Yep.
Yes. So I think with that, we're going to go ahead and try to move on to the
Yes, this is
recipe.
a really good one. And for
Very, very
breakfast,
good.
I don't share very many breakfast, so I wanted to share breakfast too because this can be done for meal prep or if you have a larger group to feed.
It's one that we enjoy, and it's one in particular our daughter loves. So it's a
Hmm.
kid friendly thing, but like she mentioned, it's a prep friendly, very, very, very delicious. So I'll let Courtney share and discuss this.
Yeah, so this is baked French toast sticks. I am really bad at making French toast. I don't know why. I'm just really bad at it, but I've found that I can make baked French toast better than like in a pan. So,
Mhm.
you need a teaspoon of cinnamon or more. I say a teaspoon, but I probably use a
Cinnamon
lot
is
more
one
than
that you,
that.
you measure with love, similar
Yes,
to
we never
vanilla.
measure ours. Like we just sprinkle it until we're good to go. A cup of unsweetened almond milk, or any milk that you like. 4 large eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We also measure that with our hearts. 12 slices of keto bread. Any bread will do, but when I say the keto bread, it's the one I use. is the 35 calorie, I think it's like a white bread,
Hmm.
but it's 35 calories per slice. And then 2 tablespoons of sugar. I use regular sugar for this because it's only 2 tablespoons split up between 6 servings. It's not that much, honestly, but you can use, sugar substitute if you want to. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and line a baking sheet with parchment paper or spray extremely well. I usually just spray. Whisk together the sugar, cinnamon, and set it aside. In a separate bowl, mix together eggs, almond milk, and vanilla extract. Cut each slice of bread into 3 even pieces and dip each piece into the egg mixture and make sure it gets as much excess off as possible. Also, you can also set your bread out for a little bit to get it a little like harder,
Hmm.
or you can toast it beforehand and it will keep it from getting too soggy. But I don't do that. I ain't got time for that, but you can do that. Um, Once the bread has been done, you may have to do this in 2 batches depending on how big your baking sheet is. Sprinkle it with a little bit of cinnamon sugar mixture and then bake that for 25 to 30 minutes, flipping halfway through. Then serve it with either um what's that stuff called? Syrup.
Syrup.
Syrup, jam, any really anything you want.
Hmm. Absolutely. So like she said, this is a really good prep thing that you can do. You can, it's kid friendly. You can put this in a Ziploc baggie and then have a little Tupperware cup for your syrup. All kinds of really
Yeah.
neat and delicious things to
Yes.
do with it.
And this, did you say the macros?
I did not. Go ahead.
Okay,
Share.
I couldn't remember if my brain, y'all. Mom life. So this is between 2 and 4 bites, depending on your plan. 6.8 net carbs. You can use whatever bread you want, though. It would just be higher in net carbs, calories, all that stuff. 142 calories and 14.4 grams of protein. I've also seen people use protein shakes instead of the almond
Milk.
milk,
Yep.
which would up the protein. And 23.1 carbs. Yeah, that's it.
So this is also one that you can kind of customize, that you can have a few more or a few less if you want this to be a snack to go
Mhm.
along with, you know,
You can also double it really easily if
mhm,
you're cooking for a crowd.
mhm. This is something you could have like as a side if you wanted to do like some scrambled eggs and some turkey sausage and then a couple of fresh toast sticks.
And then one thing I will say I've seen people use, I have not used it though, is the keto hot dog buns because it's like bigger and fluffier. I've seen people use those too, and they look divine.
Mhm. Absolutely. So if you want to give this recipe a try, feel free. It is going to be on the Healthy blog as well as posted on the Facebook and Instagram page.
Mhm.
So if you want to take, if you didn't get a screenshot of it, you can take a look at it there. Thank you so much again for being with us tonight on this Tuesday Talks with the Conways. We will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.